Bogren Digital, you guys keep screwing up my YouTube release schedule. Guys, Bogren Digital is releasing not one, not two, but 3 different AmpKnob plugins. And guess what? If you're not a fan of Mesa Boogie, you don't have to worry anymore because now you have 3 different flavors of the 5150. The iconic sound of metal. So the series of plugins is called BDH, which I was kind of confused about because I wasn't quite sure what that stood for. So I asked the guys at Bogren Digital. Basically, it's like Bogren Digital Halen, like Eddie Van Halen, EVH, but BDH, get it? Woo! All right, slow clapping. But it doesn't matter though because the plugin sounds pretty legit. And on top of that, they added a bunch of new features, which I actually haven't seen in any other guitar plugin yet. And these new features, they're actually in the standalone version, which is also included for free. Now, the standalone version of the plugin allows you to take your guitar and literally plug it right into your interface, and then just load up the plugin, turn that knob, and then you can start rocking out, and you have this awesome distorted sound. So this time, instead of diving into the plugin doctor and looking at all of what it does under the hood, let's just take a look at all these new features because I think it's something that's worth talking about. Now, really quickly, before we jump into those new features, I want to let you know that if you mix rock and metal music, you might want to check out my free downloadable metal mixing cheat sheet that I have in the description. It has a lot of my go-to settings that I find that work really well for rock and metal, and it covers every single instrument you might find, including singing and screaming vocals. So if you want something that you can reference in the studio to help you make better mixing decisions, definitely go and pick up that free download. All right, so here is one of the 3 BDH plugins by Bogren Digital. This is the standalone version, so it's just running without any DAW going. I'll demo all 3 versions of this plugin in the last half of this video, so if you want to just check that out, that's awesome. But if you're a guitar player and you want to start using this as an amp, I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you how Bogren Digital is going to make you a better guitar player, which is crazy that they thought of this, because I like it a lot. All right, so I need to go grab a guitar. I haven't played guitar in a very long time. All right, so when you first load up this plugin, you'll see that it says input muted to avoid feedback. That's a nice feature to have. We want to turn that crap off so we can start the feedback and at the same time also allow us to play our guitar through this. I have my guitar running straight into my interface into channel 10. All we have to do is come here, choose the channel 10, which it is. So now we have our input set and we have our output channels. This is just through my monitors. We hit our guitar. I can hear it, but it has a delay. When I'm playing it, it takes like a fraction of a second for it to come out the speakers, and it's distracting. That delay is called latency. You can fix that by changing your audio buffer size here. So if you click on audio buffer size and there aren't any other options, that usually means that you need to go to your audio driver for your interface and change it there. How do you do that? You have a little driver, and for me, it's an RME UFX. So this allows me to change my buffer size. If you have a Scarlett interface or something like that, you should have something similar that allows you to adjust this latency or buffer size. You're going to want to make that as low as possible. If it starts crackling and doing weird stuff, then that's too low. You're going to want to go a little bit higher than that, okay? So let's leave it as fast as possible because RME is like the best and it's not going to crackle probably. So let's close this and let's relaunch this BDH 5169. All right, now if we go to our inputs and outputs, you'll see the audio buffer has been updated to the latest setting that we just set in our driver. And it's crackling. Way to go, RME. You're making me look bad. Let's change this back to, let's say, 96 samples. So hopefully that'll fix your latency issues. Just try to get it as low as you can without the crackle. If that doesn't work, something else you can try is a higher sample rate. Sometimes it might help with latency. Depends on your drivers and a bunch of other things, but give it a shot. But when you do it right, it will be instantaneous like you're playing through a guitar amp, which makes it a super fun experience. All you have to do to start jamming is just turn this thing up. Like, how awesome is that, right? Let's talk about the new stuff, right? Also new to the BDH is this pedal feature. So this adds in even more gain if you don't have enough already. So why did I grab my guitar? The reason I grabbed my guitar is because you see this thing that says REC. You can click on that when you're jamming out. And guess what? Now you can just click this button and it recorded your riff. How nice is that? So if you have an idea, you're just kind of playing along and you get inspired, you can just hit that record button, save it, and then it's stored so that you don't lose that riff or that idea. And then you can just click this little open button and bam, there's your library of riffs sorted by the date they were recorded on. That is a killer feature. I love that. Now, something else that's new. This is a metronome, right? Okay, no big deal. But check this out. You have different modes, okay? You can actually tell it to increase the speed every so many bars, okay? So let's say there's a riff you're working on, you're trying to build up speed. You can start at a low BPM, play it slowly, and then every bar is going to increase by 10 beats per minute. So it allows you to train and get faster and faster at guitar playing. And it's built into this stupid plugin. That's so cool. You can just come here, you say, all right, well, every 4 bars, I want it to increase 10 beats per minute. But that takes a long time for me to show you that, so I'm just gonna do 1 bar. So we'll start, and then we'll do 20 beats per minute. Hit play. Boom. Go. Go. See? So you can drill your riffs. It's such a cool thing. I don't know why no one else has done this. Maybe they have. I just don't know about it. But I'm digging it. You have your volume. You can set the different accent notes. If you want to add a bunch of beats. On top of that, of course, you have a tuner. So my guitar is probably out of tune. B for Bobby. Get it? I don't. Cabinet. You can turn off the guitar cabinet. If you don't want to use their guitar cabinet loader, if you have like your favorite one, you just turn the cabinet impulse response off. And then it just sounds like static. Otherwise, you can load in your own impulse responses. Again, I'm a sucker for Bogren Digital IRs. I think these things all sound amazing. You can go back to the one that's built into the plugin. You know, that way, if you want a little bit more sizzle or something, you can just dial that in with your own custom IRs. That is the standalone version of this guitar amp sim. Now let's hear what it sounds like in a session with all the other instrumentation to see how it stacks up. All right, the session is going to be the same session that I had when I demoed AmpKnob Rev C, just for consistency, so you can more easily compare between all the different AmpKnob plugins. And again, this is by a band called Every Hour Kills. It was recorded, produced by my buddy Alan Laskow. If you like this song, you can actually go and purchase all the multi-tracks for the full session. There's like 80 or 100 different multi-tracks to see how modern metal is deconstructed. It's really, really cool learning experience, and I think it's worth at least checking out. I have a link to all that stuff in the description. All right, here's a quick sample of the song. It's epic, man. All right, let's just hop into these guitar DIs. You get the idea. So not only did Bogren Digital come out with AmpKnob of the 5150 block letter, they also came out with the 6505 version of the plugin. And these jerks also came out with the EVHiii model of it. So you have all the 3 different flavors of the 5150 at your disposal. That is awesome. So if you need that little extra push into crazy over-the-top gain structure, they have this pedal button. All right, let's start with the traditional block letter. Here we go. We're just gonna turn this gain knob up and see what happens. So with it on 0, we're still getting a little bit of breakup, and you can hear that there's an EQ change. That EQ change comes from the cabinet IR being loaded as soon as this plugin is enabled, okay? So just because it's on 0 doesn't mean it's not doing anything. It's doing a lot of stuff. That sounds like a 5150 if I ever heard one. Like, that's not even fair, man. Like, how is it that good without doing anything? I'm going to put this in stereo. All right, let's put that pedal on and see what that does. So it's already getting really gainy. To me, it seems like it's just cleaning up some of those low mids, giving a little bit more of a scooped sound, and then you also get a little bit over the top distortion with that, especially for the amount of effort that it took to dial that in. It took me 2 seconds. Right there, done. Let's make a record. All right, let's check out the 6505. So same idea. Let's see what it sounds like. Again, we're getting an effect even on 0. This one's got a little bit more of that growl. You know, it's a little bit angrier, a little nasty, a little snarlier. Kind of dig it. Let's see what the pedal's doing. It's really being aggressive. That's a lot of gain. Yup, that's a lot of gain. Let's listen to the EVH, or the BDH3 rather. Here we go. All the distortion makes it kind of start getting a little bit flubby. It's very rare you would want to have this set to 10. And honestly, anything above about 7.5, you're getting a lot more distortion, but you're losing a lot of the clarity. Something like that sounds awesome to me. Let's check out what the pedal does. Oh, that sounds awesome. Man, I'm really digging that combo. The pedal plus maybe having it around 6 for the gain, maybe a little bit less. It just has the clarity. It's super clean for being so heavy. I don't know. And it took 2 seconds to get that going. That's wild. Something else that's awesome is, of course, they have the tuning feature. You can change your tuning frequency if you want, if you're a weirdo. You can also load in your own custom IRs. So I have all the Bogren Digital IR packs. To me, they just always seem to work in my mixes, so I tend to reach for those. Let's quickly run through these 3 different tones back to back so you can get a sense for how they actually change, because it's kind of hard to tell when you do one at a time. And I have everything set to 6.5 without any of the pedals engaged. Let's get started. The original block letter has like the most like nasty to it, right? It's like a vicious. The 6606 version, or the 6505, has it's like they try to clean it up a little bit and make it a little bit nicer. But then this EVH3 version is like even cleaner and more focused, but it has a little bit less of a scooped sound, so it can work in more genres, I think. That's just my take on it. Let's throw these pedals on and see what they sound like with those engaged. Here we go. they're all kind of similar, but they all have their own uses, right? Like some of them have this like low mid thickness to it. The other ones kind of get a little bit more subby and woofy. And then this EVHiii just has like the most consistent tone overall. So I could see these being used on more like rhythm stuff, and then this being more for leads where you want a more balanced, full sonic spectrum of stuff. Okay, let's go and throw these on the different guitar tracks and hear it in a mix. I'm going to just switch between these 3 different versions of the plugins. You'll be able to see me engaging and disengaging them. Whatever's in this red S is what you're hearing. Let's start with the block letter. Here we go. That's stupid. That's one knob. It sounds too good. Oh my God, the EVHiii or the BDH3 or whatever 03 you want to call this plugin, this guy sounds money on this track. It is the exact sound that this is like going for, in my opinion. Right? Anybody disagree with me? You want to fight? Let me know in the comments. But how does it sound with vocals in a super dense chorus? Let's try it there. They all sounded pretty good. I still think I like the BDH3 on the chorus the most. But hear me out. Listen. Something that's cool about having 3 of the same like style amps but different versions of them gives you the ability to then maybe take one amp tone that works better on a verse and the different amp for the chorus, right? So let's say we do the BDH3 on the verses because it has this really cool sound to it. And then when the chorus hits, you go for maybe a little bit more nasty scoop version like the block letter, where then you get like this more aggression and it gels better with the song. I don't know where I'm going with this. All I'm trying to say is that you have 3 options, and so the world is your oyster. But we were able to dial in 3 gnarly guitar tones in 2 seconds each. I don't know, you can't beat it in my opinion. It takes 2 seconds and you get the essence of that amp. And then you couple that with the standalone version that allows you to do the riff recording, and it has the tuner and the tempo trainer. Bogren Digital, you guys just get it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you got me to pick up my guitar. That thing has been sitting on the wall for like 5 years. So which one of these plugins did you think sounded the best? And also, if you thought the BDH sounded the best for this song, let me know down in the comments too to make sure my ears aren't going bad. Bogren Digital is an awesome company. They are hooking up all of my subscribers, including you, for 10% off their plugins as long as they're not on sale. I have a coupon code for that in the description. So go and grab that, save it in a text document somewhere on your desktop. So if you want to use it down the road, you can. Also in the description is a link to download my free metal and rock mixing cheat sheet. So go and grab that. Go check out this plugin. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. I love all of you. And with that, I want to thank you for your time and attention tonight. My name is Bobby Balo. I'm the mixing and mastering engineer at Raytown Productions, and I hope to see you in another video.